Okay, let's look at problem number 6, which is exercise 4-10 of chapter 4's quiz access. This is recording sales, purchases, and shipping returns for both the buyer side as well as the seller side. So far we've worked through some different questions that try to identify, does the owner, who owns what, when, and what are they responsible for? So this will give us a little bit more practice in that area. For the most part, we should be able to work through these just one by one. I don't think I necessarily need Excel. So let's just go down into these individually. And remember that I think, yeah, the required one is all about Sydney as the buyer, and then Troy Wholesaler as the seller is number 2. Okay, so let's look at this. Sydney accepts delivery of $32,000 of merchandise it purchases for resale from Troy. So we're focused on Sydney. Invoice dated May 11th, terms 310, that means 3%. Discount if paid within 10 days. Otherwise, net, meaning the gross or the invoice amount to be paid within 90 days. And it's FOB shipping point, so freight on free on board shipping point. That means that effectively Sydney accepted ownership of the merchandise the minute it was sent from Troy, from their dock. The goods cost Troy $21,440. Record Sydney's entry for this transaction. Now we can ignore this part, the Troy, because it's not relevant to Sydney, right? So first, we're going to do merchandise inventory, right? And that's going to be $32,000. And it's going to come out of its accounts payable because it's not cash. Accounts payable is $32,000. Okay, so that should be that for that one. On 2, Sydney pays $600 cash to express shipping for delivery charges on that merchandise. All right, so we're going to have delivery expense here for $600, and it's going to come cash $600. All right, and then on 3, Sydney returns $1,400 of the $3,200 of goods to Troy, who receives them the same day and stores it to their inventory. We can ignore the cost side of Troy's. So we're going to, on this one, we're going to do just the opposite of the other one we did, because we're gonna reduce accounts payable by 1,400, and we're gonna do merchandise inventory. We're gonna reduce that value by 1,400 as well. Okay, and then lastly, Sydney pays Troy for the amount owed. This is on the 20th. Now, to go back here, that would be 9 days. So it's within the period, the discount period. So 3% of this 32,000 is going to go to discounts, and the rest is going to go to pay off the balance. So first of all, we're going to do accounts payable because that's going to be for the full $32,000. Now, the nice thing is going to be we're going to have a discount. In fact, we can bring up this other one if we bring this up. All right, merchandise sales, returns and allowances, sales discounts. On discount, where's the discount one? It doesn't show it right here. Oh, here it is. Receive payment within discount period. Now, this is the receipt of the payment. We actually want to do the opposite. It's going to really look like what I'm trying to do right here. So anyway, this is cash. And that's going to be, bring up a calculator. It's going to be 32,000 times 0.97 because it's 3% off. Okay, so 1 minus 0.03 is 0.97. That's going to be 31,040. 31,040. So that means that effectively on the purchase discount side, we're going to do 3140 minus 32,960. Okay. And that should be all we need there. So let's check our work. See how we did on this one. Ooh. What happened here? I messed up. Okay. Delivery expense, not a delivery expense. Oh, that's right, because this one is going to go into merchandise inventory for the delivery. Okay, that one should be that. And this one was wrong. %. Yeah. Well, we should have purchase. Oh, wrong side of the equation. So let's look at doing this under merchandise inventory as well. It should be for that amount, but let's try this differently. 32,000 times 0.03. That's 960. In cash minus 960. 31,040. Sydney pays Troy for the amount owed. Troy receives the cash immediately, records Sydney's. Let's check this again. Okay, well, I've got the accounts right, but the amounts are wrong. Oh. Herein lies my problem. I forgot about the inventory return. Because we had the 32 minus the 14 is what's in accounts payable at this point. And so these are all wrong. So what we should have effectively is if we take, let's move this over a little bit. Okay, so 32,000 minus 1,400, that's what's owed, right? And then we're going to times this by 0.03, and that's what we're going to take the discount of. All right, so let's redo this. Let's come back here, return to question. And we're going to redo this one. So this one is the 30,600. This one is going to be the 918. And then so this one now should be 30,600 minus 918. So 29,682. 29,682. All right. Check our work. There we go. So I kind of got that mixed up in the overall process for that. Now let's look at number 2. Okay, return to question. So on the Troy wholesaler side, they are going to record 2 things. One, the sale, and then the transfer of cost of goods. So the sale is going to be the sale. Accounts receivable and revenue. So let's do accounts receivable first for 32,000. And we're going to do revenue or some sort of revenue, merchandise. Let's see what they have in here. Delivery, interest, merchandise, inventory purchases, sales. We're going to do sales for 32,000. And then we're going to move the merchandise to cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. And that's going to be for 21,440. And we're going to do it for merchandise inventory for 21,440. Now let's just see if this is kind of the format they wanted. They could, usually this is broken out into two different transactions, but they may want to look a little differently. Oh, I can't check my work, can I? Because I already did my 3 tries. Well, let's duplicate this. Let's go to instructor view. Let's go to 4. Let's go to quiz access. Let's go to preview. And let's look at number 6. Required 2. Okay. So these are different values, but the concept's the same. Accounts receivable, sales, cost of goods sold, and merchandise inventory. So that one's fine. Let's go back to where we were. Right here. Nope. Right here. Okay. Oh, this was broken up into 2. Okay, so this one would be nothing and nothing. And this would be delete and delete. Okay, so they did break it up into 2. So one's the sale and one's the cost of goods. So this is going to be cost of goods sold for 21,440 and merchandise inventory for 21,440. Okay, now we're going to okay. So then we're going to go to number 3. When they return the goods, we're going to add it back to merchandise because there's no indication here that it's defective. And so that's going to be the $1,400. Actually, this is sales. Sales for $1,400. And it's going to be accounts receivable for $1,400. Okay. And then 4, return goods cost $938. So we're gonna have to do the same type of thing where we're going to do merchandise. We're going to do merchandise inventory here for $938 and accounts receivable for $938. Okay. And then lastly, Sydney pays Troy for the amount owed. Now, what we can do is go back to what that amount was, right? That's 29,682 is the cash. So these 2 entries right here are what we're focused on. 29,682. 29,682. And the other number was 912, right? 918. All right, so this is going to be the cash they received. This is going to be the purchase discounts. That's not purchases, purchase or sales discounts, actually, sales discounts. And this one's going to be accounts receivable for the net amount, which was hold on. This is going to be 918 here. And then this is going to be the 3,600. Okay, that should be it. So now these are what the transactions should look like. So if we go over here to my cheat sheet on 6, we should have similar things. So accounts receivable. Okay, we did these. Sales returns and allowances. Ah, that's right. Forgot the sales returns and allowances. This would not be sales. This would have to be sales returns and allowances to credit the component of the return. It's just not directly to sales or separating it out by sales returns and allowances. And this should be the receivable. There you go. And then you have the merchandise inventory and cost of goods sold. It's very similar as this one. And then you have cash, sales discounts, and accounts receivable. So on 5, sales and cash, sales discounts, and receivables. All right, that's number 6.